What is going on, everyone? Welcome. Welcome to another Niner Sickness podcast. How's everybody doing today? Hope you guys are having a wonderful Friday night. The weekend is upon us. Saturday and Sunday. This, ladies and gentlemen, will be the last weekend without football. Football is back. And we're going to talk about the Steelers. We're going to talk about the Niners, the matchups. And we're going to be doing a giveaway. As you've seen on my picture of my thumbnail, I'll be giving away this bad boy. Look at that beautiful 75-year anniversary patch. Somebody will be winning that patch. So let's talk football. Let's get excited. Let's go forward. And we'll start right after this. All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Let's have some fun. Let's talk 49er football. Let's talk about the matchups against the Steelers. Will Nick Bosa be playing week one? And can we beat the Steelers without Nick Bosa? And I'm going to tell you why we can beat the Steelers with or without Bosa. Also, we're going to do, please do not do it now. We're going to be doing game prediction at the end of the show. I'm only going to be here for about an hour tonight. So at the end of the show, when I ask, give me your predictions. Don't do it now because I won't see them. And for the game on Sunday, September 10th, and the one that wins or gets the closest to the score will win this beautiful patch right here. You'll have the opportunity to win this patch on a game that I like to call game prediction. So don't do it now. I will let you know towards the end of the show. And if I get carried away and I start saying, all right, guys, good night, somebody remind me. I'm an old man. Hey, Beto, don't forget about the game prediction. So keep that in mind, guys. If I start saying goodbye and good night and I haven't done the score prediction, remind me in the comments. Let's go ahead and say hello to my little friends in the comments. We got Jimmy Perez in the house. What's up, Jimmy? We got Eric Walls in the house. What's up, Eric? We got Crazy Guy in the house. What's up, Crazy Guy? We got Big Daddy Niners in the house. What's up, Big Daddy? We got, let's see here, Daniel Cantu is in the house. What's up, Daniel? Good to see you. Good to see you. We got Teresa, my girl Teresa in the house. How you doing, Teresa? Oh, I already got that one. Give me a second. Randy Daytona is in the house. What's up, Randy? We got Roberto Davis. What's up, Roberto? Let's go. We got Luis Moreno in the house. What's up, Luis? We got Luis Negron in the house. What's up, Luis? I want to say Luis, but it's Luis. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Oops, I got that one already. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Let me make sure I go through all of them. All right. So don't give me no predictions right now. We'll do that towards the end of the show. So Jimmy says, what's up, Beto? Happy Friday, man. Happy Friday to you. Crazy Guy says, I am rocking a brand new. Oh, there you go, bro. Rock it. Big Daddy Niner says, let's go, Niners attack. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Let's see here. Daniel Cantu says, what's up, Beto? I'm ready for some football. Let's go. Before we continue on, make sure to wipe your feet before entering and hit the like button for your boy Niner sickness. It is polite to wipe your feet before entering Casa Niner sickness. Wipe your feet, sit on the couch, relax, get a cold beverage, and enjoy the show. Let's go. Look who we have here. We got royalty in the house. Let's welcome Laura Cat. Let's go. We got my brother from another mother, my boy, faithful to the podcast. What's up, David Villa? Let's go. He says, what's up, my Niner family, my brother's sickness. This is the best Niner podcast in the world. Respect. I love it, bro. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the kind words. I truly appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, David Villa. You are awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So, we play the Steelers on Sunday, September 10th. In Pittsburgh. Will the Niners win in Pittsburgh with or without Bosa? That is the $1 million question. Will we be able to go into Pittsburgh, play them without Bosa possibly, and still come out with a W? Now, of course, the Niners defense isn't the same without Bosa. I would love for this whole contract to get situated. I would love to see Bosa ready to rock week 1. But I do believe that Drake Jackson is going to have an amazing year. This young man is going to make his name known to a lot of the faithful. Then we got Eric Armstead that also looks to kind of make up for last year. Last year he didn't get that many sacks. He wasn't as productive as people wanted him to be. I expect to see a different Eric Armstead. And then we got the addition of Javon Hargrave. How is Javon Hargrave going to play here in San Francisco? We've seen how he played in Philadelphia. We brought him to San Francisco based on what he did in Philadelphia. But can he do it here in San Francisco? And if Bosa's not ready because of the contract situation, I feel comfortable with Austin. I'm trying to think of his last name. And Hyder and a mix of Farrell. I think if you rotate those guys on that side with Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, and Drake Jackson, we should be able to put pressure on Pickett. Now, can we stop the run? Will the Niners be able to stop the run? That is the key question. Could the Niners stop the run? We got my boy, David McNiner. What's up, David? So, can the Niners stop the run? That was a concern in preseason. Now, mind you, we were dealing with a lot of second and third string players. I understand that. We didn't have the main guys. We didn't have the number ones. We didn't have everyone at one time in there. I think the 49ers will get that situated when you have Eric Armstead, Drake Jackson, Hargrave, Bosa, or any rotating edge. And then you have Fred Warner in the middle, Greenlaw. And then you're going to go with, I see the Niners going a lot with Ward, Lenore on the outside, Hufanga, and hopefully Hufanga is recovering and doing good. And then I see Hufanga, I see I can't think of his name right now, number 31. Let me know in the comments, 31. And I would like to see Jair Brown in the mix. I think they go a 3 safety set. Instead of using that third linebacker, they will go with 3 safety sets. And under our coach, defensive coordinator, I think this team can be pretty damn good. But can we put pressure on that offensive line of Pittsburgh? That's going to be the $1 million question. David says, "Hi, Beto and the Niner Empire. Please wipe your feet before entering." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Luis Moreno says, "Definitely we can beat the Steelers, but it will be a closer game without Bosa." Interesting. Teresa says, "We win, but it will be a defensive game, low score." Okay. That is an interesting thought. Bosa will start week 1. Let's go, Roberto. I hope that's the case. I wanted Bosa to be signed by today. It looks like Friday came and it's gone and no Bosa. So, and then I read somewhere that they're kind of like $3 to $4 million away to where they per year where Bosa wants, and when the Niners want to pay. It'll be interesting to see what the contract is once it's signed by Bosa. My brother from another mother, my Saints fan, 615 Random Goat, is in the house. What's up, brother? He's a great guy, big Saints fan, but very respectful. Comes to my channel, show support, and I appreciate you, man. Gibson, thank you. Yeah, so I can see a lot of Gibson, Hufanga, and Brown. I don't want to miss on Hufanga. I'm wearing his jersey right now. My boy Hufanga, let's go. Ilgo Gamiro, man, I probably screwed that name up. I apologize. What's up? I'm not good at reading in Spanish. Su opinión sobre la guerra dos. I'm thinking you're talking about Tampa Bay, if I'm not mistaken. I guess. Stop Harris, and we are good. They have Harris, Najee Harris, and they have this other kid back there. Listen, Hargrave is a very good run stopper. I know the teams were running left and right on us in preseason, but listen, guys, Real football starts on Sunday, September 10th. This whole preseason, I don't take whether the Niners play good or they play bad. It doesn't matter. Some of those guys are not even on the team. Show me what you can do on game day. I want to see the performance. Now, if we're getting gashed left and right by Harris, if we can't stop Harris week 1, then and only then will I be concerned about our run game. But I am not going to be concerned based on what we saw or did not see in preseason. Real football starts on September 10th. So we'll see. Look who it is. My brother from another mother, Glenn. What's up, Glenn? How you doing, sir? What's up, Niners Sickness? Glad to see you, my brother. Hope all is well. Everything is great. I went to the doctor. My back was hurting, but I got a cortisone shot and feeling pretty good. They gave me a couple of Percocet, pop in some Percocets, and feeling good. I think Bosa will sign after Labor Day. Interesting. Everyone has to barbecue. Yeah, I hear you. Luis Moreno says, if Bosa is asking for too much, why not let him play out his contract? Then just franchise him at $19 million a year compared to $30 million a year. Now, this is the thing. They can't force him to play. He can hold out. Now, I believe for every game that he doesn't play, they will penalize him $1 million. That's a hefty price, but it's $1 million per game. Now, keep this in mind. By week 8 comes around and you haven't played, all you're doing is paying $1 million per game. But after week 8, you got to play. Because if you do not play after week 8, then the whole year goes away. You do not accrue the year of playing time. Meaning that it's as if he never played this season. You got to play after week 8 in order for you to be credited for playing in the season. And if Bosa doesn't really want to be here, I'm not saying he doesn't, is to his best interest. Maybe he holds out until week 8. I don't think that'll be the case. I don't think that's what's going to happen. But worst case scenario, if he holds out to week 8, which he can do, but after week 8, Bosa has to make a serious decision. Either I play under my contract or I lose the whole year. So let's see what happens. Because Bosa won't play on a tag. He has all the... well, he does and he kind of doesn't. After week 8, he would play and they could franchise tag him. He doesn't. He can hold out for another 8 games. But how much can this go on? Now, we're talking about worst case scenarios. That's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about worst case scenarios. I don't expect it to go that way. Bosa loves playing for the Niners. The Niners love Bosa. Bosa has been drafted by the team. And Bosa, all he knows is the players on this roster. He's been living in, at least during the season, in San Francisco or the Bay Area for now, 4 years? Will he make it back by week 1? That I don't know. I hope so. But do I expect Bosa to miss more than week 1 or to hold out all the way to week 8? And then next year we got to deal with the whole tag? I don't think that's the best interest for neither Bosa or the Niners. I think they'll get it done. They're playing cat and mouse or dare. You know, when you get or chicken, they call it. When you get two cars going at each other and they're waiting for one to flinch. That's kind of what they're doing with this whole contract. Now, the Niners want to pay Bosa. They want him to make him the highest paid player out there. But they also want to make sure that they're not mortgaging the future on one player. As good as Bosa is, as a great pass rusher that he is, there has to come to a point, ladies and gentlemen, that an amount has to be just too much. And I think, honestly, anything over 33 is too much. I think over 33 million per year is too much. Aaron Donald, the top defensive player, I know he's D-tackle, but he plays D-tackle and outside very well. He's making 31 point something. You would think they would want to pay him about 32. Now, Bosa's smart. He knows that next year somebody's going to get paid. So I think Bosa wants to hold that for a year or two. Or he wants to set the mark for other defensive ends. Now, people are already, I've been hearing people say already, man, Joey Bosa did not hold this much. Joey Bosa, he signed late August. But you got to remember, the money that Joey Bosa got, it's nowhere near what the Niners are going to give Nick Bosa. And a lot of it could be also in the guarantees, right? That's probably where they're having a little fight between each other. Like, I want this much guarantees, and the Niners, no, we're going to give you this. Or the Niners could want to sign him for 5 years, and Bosa wants to be signed for 4. He feels I'm still young. After 4 years, I can go ahead and get another contract, whether it's here or somewhere else. And maybe the Niners are trying to say, okay, if we're going to give you 33 or 34 million, then give us 6 years. And maybe that's where they're having the issues. Now, this is just obviously just speculation on my part. But there is something to worry about. You know, people want to make excuses. Oh, well, Bosa just wants to, and I've done it. Bosa just wants everything to calm down with the Lance trade, and he wants his day to be about him. Well, that came and gone. Well, Bosa doesn't want to play in preseason. Bosa doesn't really want to go to a training camp. Well, that's come and gone. At what point do we not worry about Nick Bosa signing or not signing? And I want to know, honestly, what is too much in your opinion? What is too much? Is 34, 35 way too much for Bosa? Now, keep in mind, if you're going to respond upon emotion because it's really not your money, right? You're like, pay him whatever he wants. Give him 40. Give him 50. That's not being practical. It isn't. If you were Jed York, if you were John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan, and you had, or Parag, and you had the interest of the team, how much is too much for Bosa to remain a Niner? And at what point do you start looking at maybe trading him? Now, I'm not saying we're going to trade him, okay? Oh, Niners Sickness is talking about a trade. No, we're just having a conversation tonight. It's Friday night. Our shoes are off. We're sitting on the couch enjoying our favorite beverage, mine is water. And we're just talking. We're just talking. If the Niners do decide to trade Bosa because they can't come to an agreement on a certain amount, what should other teams give up for him? Should it be just picks? Should it be picks and players? And if we are win now, if we're in a win now season, whatever picks we get for Bosa, if and only if we trade him, they will not benefit this team until next year. So, do we get a lot of picks for next year, or do we trade him for two solid, very good players? Maybe an offensive tackle, another pass rusher, a corner. If we are win now mode, would you trade Bosa for players this year and not picks? Or would you take like 2 number ones and 2 number twos next year and take your chance this year with the roster and go into the draft and see what you got? I'm curious to know from each and every one of you. Monday starts practice for Pittsburgh. I like the way you put that. If he's not with the team Monday, I'll start worrying. No more than 35. All right. See, you're keeping him within perspective. I know I mentioned this before and people are like, give him 45, give him 50. I'm like, that's not being rational. That's being emotional. I know you love Bosa. I love Bosa. But that's not being rational. That's not the way it works in the NFL. That is not the way it works in the NFL. Can we just say it's a great thing we live in a salary cap era? Imagine being back in the pre-salary cap era when rich teams could just flash money and build all-star teams. Gotta love. Yeah. I remember the Niners, they bought a Super Bowl. The Niners bought a Super Bowl in 1994 by bringing a bunch of players in the defensive side. But the salary cap also hurts a lot of teams as well. So it goes both ways. Salad Bowl 831 in the house. What's up, brother? ¿Qué onda, mi gente? Saludos y respeto. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Welcome, sir. Bienvenido a la casa de Niner Sickness Podcast. Antemiste, ¿cómo estás? Welcome. Same thing happened with Debo. A lot of fans said he was gone, and the deal happened. Same thing is gonna happen with Bosa. Don't worry, faithful. Now, Debo did not take this long because Debo got a 3-year, and the amount that Debo was given is nowhere near what Bosa's going to get. But I understand. Real quick, in between the conversation, for those that are just coming in, welcome. Hang in there. I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the end of the show. Well, I'm not going to give this tonight, but you're going to be able to play for the opportunity to win it. And I'm going to say how. Not right now, but towards the end of the show. And I'm only doing an hour tonight. And we're 30 minutes in already. So in the next 20 minutes, I will be requesting score predictions for the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the person that gets closest to the score will win this beautiful, beautiful patch. Now, once you are the winner of the patch, You can let me know if you want me to add adhesive tape. I can put some adhesive tape. So all you got to do is iron it. This one's nice out the gold. I don't have any gold ones, but I can put adhesive on here. So all you got to do is iron it on your jersey or whatever. You get the iron, put it on there, and it's there permanently. Or I can send it to you just like this without the adhesive tape, and then you can sew it on. You can sew it on onto your jersey. But if I put the adhesive tape and then you decide to sew it, you can, but it'll be much harder. So let me know when you win this if you want adhesive tape or not. And how it works is if you pick the Niners, which most of you are, the closest to the score wins. Now, if the Steelers win, then everybody loses. Okay? Unless you pick the Steelers. I don't know why, but if you do. So if you pick the Niners, the team that you pick has to win. And then we go by the score. So keep that in mind. And then if nobody wins it, I will do it for the next game. And we'll keep going that way. Looks what is happening with the Rams. He's crippling their organization. Yeah, they won a Super Bowl. It paid off, Luis. They got the Super Bowl, so they can hang their hat on that. But now they're going to go through a lot of years on not being relevant. So sometimes you get the Super Bowl, but then you are not relevant for years. I want to be relevant every year. I understand a lot of people want to win the Super Bowl. So do I. Don't let me confuse you. I want to win a Super Bowl like everyone else. But I'm old school. I want my team to be competitive every year. Every year. Now, we fall short when we don't make the Super Bowl, or if we make it and we don't win it. But if we make it to the playoffs, it's a great season. If we make it to the NFC Championship game, that's even better. If we make it to the Super Bowl and win it, even better. But if my team is winning double-digit games, 10, 11, 12, 13 games, that means my team is relevant. That means our team is good. I can walk out there with my chest pumped. Niners. When Chip Kelly was coach, when Tom Sula was coach, when Mike Nolan was the coach, Mike Singletary, those were not fun days. Now, I got 49er tattoos, so I wear my colors no matter what. I still wear my jerseys, even back then when the season was not that good. But it's something about wearing your gear when the Niners are good. So I know a lot of people that are like, Super Bowl or nothing. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. People don't start the season to win a playoff game. They don't start the season on hoping to make it to the NFC Championship. Their goal, every 32 teams' goal, is to make it to the Super Bowl and win it, to be the last team standing. But when you're competitive, when you're winning, when you're making the playoffs, once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. You hit some luck. I tell this to people all the time. Not only do you need 50% of a good roster, you need 50% luck. Luck plays a lot in winning the Super Bowl. Same thing happened with Debo. Okay, I read that one. My bad. Fernando Munoz is in the house. What's up, Fernando? Fernando says Niners shouldn't trade Bosa at all. But if they do, we need some number ones and a starter cornerback. All right. All right. So get the corner this year and get the picks for next year. I like that. Now, I'm not saying we're going to trade or do I want Bosa to be traded. I'm just saying we're talking, we're having fun, we're hanging out on a Friday night. I'm just bringing up all topics. But somebody hears me or somebody jumps on my show later on and sees me talking and doesn't watch the whole show, they're like, I heard Niner Sickness. He said he wants to trade Bosa, but they don't listen to the whole live. Kevin Green, Tim Harris, Ken Norton, Deion Sanders. That roster in 94-95 was stacked. Ricky Jackson, even though Ricky Jackson was already kind of towards the end of his year, but he got incentives to sack the quarterback. And boy, did he get to the quarterback that year. We had also Harris. Remember the guy that used to shoot the guns? Tim Harris, I believe it was named. Never mind, Luis. I just read it. Tonto, me. Tim Harris, I loved him. Every time he get a sack, he'd pull out the guns and pow, 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 pow. I love that. I used to always enjoy watching him do that. Itchy 95's in the house. What's up, Itchy? Thank you for wiping your feet, by the way. Real quick, as my boy Itchy brought it up, please wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button for your boy Niner Sickness. Much appreciated. I think 33 mil is more realistic as the limit, but 34 to 35 million is possible. The real issue might be guarantees. He might want 5 years for 165 million. The Deshaun Watson, I believe it was once in a lifetime. The Browns are a very stupid organization. They always have been and they always will be. It even goes to the Ravens. For those that don't remember, the Baltimore Ravens are the old Cleveland Browns. If you didn't know that. Just like the Texans are is it the Texans? The old Houston Oilers? Or is it the Titans? Don't remember, but we'll see. Maybe the Yorks don't got 110 on hand. They better apply for some credit. Didn't they just buy a soccer team in Europe? That is true. That is true. Itchy number 95 says Harbaugh era was pretty good. It was, but you got to remember, Harbaugh, credit to Harbaugh, he came in and took over a stacked team. This is just shows you that Chip Kelly and Jim Tonsula are terrible. Chip Kelly won, 2 games? And then he gets fired. And I think the only team he beat was the Rams twice, if I'm not mistaken, in 2016. Oh, no. I'm going ahead of myself. Sorry. In 2011 or 2010. And then here comes Harbaugh and immediately takes that same roster to the NFC Championship game the following year. How do you go from, and there were not a lot of hurt players. How do you go from winning 2 games the year before to making it to the NFC title? Great coaching. And Harbaugh was a great coach. He was hard to be coached for what I heard, but he was a great coach. Now, This is where I give Kyle Shanahan way more credit than Harbaugh. Harbaugh came in and was able to manage a stacked team. Kyle Shanahan, when he came in 2017, he took over a team that was pathetic. He took over a team that they only kept 3 players. Do you guys remember the 3 players that Kyle Shanahan kept from the old regime? I'm going to say the names. And if you said it to yourself, then you remember. Jimmy Ward, Joe Staley, and Selleck, the tight end, backup tight end. Other than that, he brought in everyone. He broke down this team to the core. He shattered it he blew it up to the core. And then he built it amongst the draft and free agents. This is what I think is funny. Let's talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about it for a few minutes. People say the Niners draft terrible. Maybe in the 3rd round. Maybe in the 1st round. But if you really think about it, ladies and gentlemen, the Niners, yes, we missed out on either Patrick Mahomes or Deshaun Watson. To be honest, Deshaun Watson had just won back-to-back championships at Clemson. Patrick Mahomes really didn't do a lot. But maybe if the Niners were scouting, they could have got some information about Patrick Mahomes. Now, we know the Bears are stupid. They were scouting for a quarterback. The Bears were in the market for a quarterback. What did the Bears... Listen, guys. The Bears traded with us. We were number 2. The Bears were number 3. The Bears were so afraid that someone would take Mitch Trubisky that they were willing to trade with us to move up in our spot so nobody else can take our spot and take Mitch no good garbage Trubisky. And Houston took Deshaun Watson, which other than the problem that he had off the field with the salons, he was good. He might still be good. And Patrick Mahomes. We already know what Patrick Mahomes is now. So whenever you think the Niners should have took a quarterback, the Bears moved up one spot with us. And they took Trubisky. Obviously the worst of the 3. Draft is not a for sure thing. It isn't. The draft is not a for sure thing. So we missed out on Solomon Thomas. We missed out on Reuben Foster. Remember, we used that extra pick from the Bears to move back into the 1st round to take Reuben Foster. But we missed out on Reuben Foster. Great player in Alabama, but character on the outside was terrible. But we drafted Fred Warner out of Utah in the 3rd round. And Fred Warner has made us forget Reuben Foster. And 17, we drafted the people's tight end, George Kittle. George Kittle out of Iowa State or Iowa. And we know how he turned out to be. Moving forward, we drafted Hufanga, Mitchell. Now, I understand Mitchell's been hurt a lot, but he's still a great player. We drafted Greenlaw. We drafted Debo We drafted a Uke. Now, we missed on Kinlaw. Now, people always tell me all the time, if the Niners should have never traded DeForest Buckner. They should never trade him away. Now, I always have to respond. My response to that is, if the San Francisco 49ers would have not traded DeForest Buckner, they would have never got that high pick. Therefore, they would have not been able to trade with Tampa Bay, which gave extra picks to the Niners, which the Niners used in return to move from 30th or 31 all the way to 25 to take Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is on this roster because initially that DeForest Buckner trade. So DeForest Buckner's on the team, Brandon Ayuk isn't. Got to remember, things are tied together. Now, the Niners did not hit on Javon Kinlaw. I think he's a great player. Just he's overwhelmed with injuries. Now his confidence is shot, and he's not that good. But what did the Niners do? They brought in Javon Hargrave. If this Javon can do it, then we're going to bring this one they can. Yep, that is correct. Harbaugh is a time bomb coach. He wears out his welcome after 3 to 4 years. Hey, this is Kyle's 7th year in the league. And you know what really gets me, guys? I'm going to be doing their score predictions in the next 5 minutes. So hang in there with me. The next 5 minutes, I will be asking everyone to give me your score predictions for the game Niners versus Steelers week 1. If the Niners win, the patch is in play. Now we go based on the score you picked. If the Niners lose, then I keep the patch and I try to give it out the following week against the Rams and so on. So Kyle is the only front office personnel that would have traded up in the 3rd round for, yeah. I'm not saying he's made some good choices. Obviously, when it comes to the running backs in the 3rd round, terrible choices. So I'm not excusing or I'm not defending Kyle and everything. I'm not. Kyle needs to be held accountable to some things. Kyle needs to be held to a higher standard. But when I hear fan base, we need to fire Kyle Shanahan. And I'll say, why? And they'll tell me, because he hasn't won a Super Bowl. And I'll ask, I understand we want to win a Super Bowl, but you're telling me that a coach is defined by a Super Bowl if they are great coaches or not? And people normally tell me yes. And I say, Mark Levy from the Buffalo Bills went to 4 Super Bowls year after year after year after year. Didn't win, and he's in the Hall of Fame. There's another coach. I keep forgetting his name. I got to write it down. He coached the Chargers, and then he coached Heinheimer. Sure, I can't think of his name. He coached the Chiefs for a minute. Also, another fantastic coach that has never won a Super Bowl. Now, the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl, but I'm not convinced that Kyle should be fired. Or when people, because of this whole Trey Lance situation, people say they should, then, people should hold Kyle and John Lynch accountable. Accountable to what? Winning games? You're going to hold them accountable to win games? Kyle has won a lot of games. Kyle has been in 4 years. Now, this is his 7th year, but let's talk about the last 6 years. The first 2 years, I do not count. Whether you agree with me or not, that is your prerogative. I respect your choice. But the first 2 years, I do not count because he took over and gutted a team and had to rebuild it from the floor up. Year 3, he makes it to the Super Bowl. Year 3, he makes it to the Super Bowl, which is really year 1 of having a good roster. We lose it. I understand. So in the last 4 years, the Niners have made it to the NFC Championship 3 times and 1 Super Bowl appearance. Why? Why do we want to fire a coach that has made it to 3 NFC championships and 1 Super Bowl appearance in the last 4 years? Because he hasn't won a Super Bowl yet? Do you know how long it took Andy Reid to win a Super Bowl? And he's a great coach. He was a great coach. Even if he wouldn't have won a Super Bowl, Andy Reid would have probably been a Hall of Famer. He's definitely won now, but he probably would have been a Hall of Famer without achieving a Super Bowl. Now, good that he found Patrick Mahomes. Now he has 2. Possibly can get more. We got to give Kyle time. We got to give him time to find that quarterback. It might be Brock Purdy. It might be Brock Purdy. And people tell me, well, Brock Purdy, he's not your typical quarterback. He's not 6'4". He doesn't have a big arm. That's why we drafted Trey Lance. Whoop-de-doo-doo-doo. Can Brock Purdy win games? Can Brock Purdy put the ball in the playmaker's hands? Can Brock Purdy distribute the ball quick into Debo, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Juice? That's all he needs to do. That is all he needs to do. It's because he knows what he can do with Cousins. Now, I don't want Cousins, but I think we can win a Super Bowl with Cousins under Kyle. But hey, Jimmy G wasn't that great. Kirk Cousins might not win a lot of high-time games, but he is better than Jimmy G. And Kirk Cousins at this point is better than Trey Lance. I'm not talking about what Trey Lance can be, what he will be in a few years. I'm talking about right now, Kirk Cousins is better than Trey Lance. But we have Brock Purdy. And I honestly believe that Brock Purdy is going to win a lot of your hearts. A lot of those that are doubting he's going to win you guys over. I believe in this kid. I don't know about you guys, and I'm going to do this right now. When I seen Brock Purdy play against the Dolphins, I felt it in my bones. This kid has the it factor. That's how I felt when Joe Montana came. And I'm not saying he's going to be Joe Montana and win 4 Super Bowls. Slow down. But when Joe Montana, I was watching football, Niner football, when Steve DeBerg was the quarterback. Before Bill Walsh. When Joe Montana was drafted from Notre Dame in the third round, And what I saw from him in practice and the way he played a few games when he was allowed to play, I was like, this guy has the it factor. And he's going to win a lot. Now, I didn't know Joe Montana was going to be a freaking GOAT and win 4 Super Bowls, be the surgeon they used to call him because he can slice his defenses up and down. The 2-minute kid. But I knew he was going to be great. And I see and feel the same thing about Brock Purdy. Now, I'm not saying that Brock Purdy will be Joe Montana. I'm not saying that, but I got a good feeling about Brock Purdy. And I think that, and I know there's a lot of loyalty to Trey Lance. There's a lot of loyalty for all the investment that we gave for Trey Lance. I understand that. I don't agree with it with a lot of you guys, but I respect your thought process on that. But I think that Brock Purdy is going to win a lot of games, and he's going to make a lot of you guys believers. You guys will start falling in love with him. And the pain of losing Trey Lance will begin to subside. The more games Brock wins, the more games that we win because of Brock, I guarantee you, the pain, the agony of losing Trey Lance will begin to subside. Get ready for a great year in 2023. Brock Purdy's coming, and he's bringing hell with him. All right, guys, let's go ahead and give me your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look what we have here. 49er Minded in the house. What's up, 49er Minded? So do me a favor, guys. Oops, hit that twice. I meant to hit this button. So as of now, give me your score predictions for the week 1. Niners versus the Steelers. What is your score prediction? And this patch, it's only for you guys tonight. It's only for those that are playing tonight. So give me your score predictions. I'm going to write them down on the tablet after the show. And if the Niners have to win. If you guys pick the Niners and the Niners lose, then this patch will remain with me, and then I'll give it out for the Rams game again. But if the Niners win, then we go to see who hit the score prediction or whoever is the closest to that score prediction. So give me your score prediction for the opportunity to win this beautiful 75th year anniversary patch. We got Teresa with 17-14 Niners. Now, you got to let me know the team you're picking. I cannot assume, because you're a Niner fan, that you're taking the Niners. So, for example, Monte Williams says 31-17. Now, I know Monte. Monte wouldn't do this to me. But if the Steelers win and it's that same kind of a score, Monte can say, hey, Beto, I took the Steelers. And there's no way for me to prove it or not. So I need you to put your score prediction and what team. And I know most of you guys are going to put the Niners, but this is just to save confusion and problems. So just so that I can save it on record, I appreciate that. Itchy95 says 28-21 Niners. Roberto is going with 24-13 Niners. Mooney kicks a 40-yard field goal to win the game. Oh, no, well, not 24-13, but I got you. Luis Moreno, 17-24 Niners. Monte, 31-17 Niners. Thank you, sir. And Bashar changed it as well. Thank you. 28-19 Niners. David Villa, 31-17. Now, 31-17 was picked by David Villa and picked by Monte Williams. So I'm glad that two numbers are the same. So in case that we went up and be in a tie, let's say that Monte Williams and David Villa are both tied to the 31-17. So then what I'll do is the day that I give away the patch and announce the patch the winner, I will have Monte Williams and David Villa pick a number between 1 and 10. And I'll have the number and then I'll do it random so you can see it. I'll try to keep everything fair and honest. No tricks up. I don't have sleeves, so no tricks up my sleeves. How did I know you were going to do this? Only because you're my buddy, bro. He says 21-17 Steelers. Hey, if that's what you're picking, that way if they win, automatically, I'll gift it to a Niner fan. Look at this guy. Look at this generosity. I like this guy. He's being generous with something that doesn't belong to him. Good job, my friend. Hey, more power to you. But the score has to be, you have to be close to the score. So if it's like 7-3 and you pick 21-17, all right, but I got your point, bro. And if you're going to give it to a Niner fan, then that's cool. So, is there any more that want to, everybody put in their picks? Perfect. So what I'll do is I'm going to end the show. And then after I end the show, I'm going to write everybody's name down. The other day, I did a show and I'm giving away this one. On that show, I'm giving away this one. And see, I write everybody's names. And I put the patch name on top. Patch Niner Gang. So, good luck, everyone. May the force be with you. And you might just be the winner after the game on Sunday, September 10th. Who is ready for some football? Let's go. Let's go. All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming in. Everybody that popped in the chat, kept it going, popping. You guys are amazing. Make sure to hit me with the thumbs up before you leave. And continue to support the channel. I love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Be safe. Be kind to one another. And we'll see you on the next Niner Sickness podcast. Peace.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.